So it's something like they're the best worst friends. Best worst friends. Best worst friends. With Doug and Tim. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Best Worst Friends, episode 145, I believe. I'm Doug Koenig. That's Tim Nicholson.
Doug. Hey.
Hi. Hey.
What celebrity would you believe... Like, is there a celebrity that you would believe was in love with you from afar and just needed a couple bucks?
There's not one celebrity I believe would choose me over other people.
You don't think so?
There's not one I would believe to reach out to me. There'd be a couple where if they did, I'd be like, yeah, all right, that kind of feels like the best celebrity I could get. Like if I got messages from Kathy Bates being like, I'm in dire straits.
Yeah.
Kathy, Academy Award-winning actress Kathy
Academy
Bates.
Award-winning psychopath Kathy Bates.
Dame Catherine Bates. I don't know if it's Kathleen. I don't know what her full name is.
I feel like I'd be more likely to get tricked by like a local celebrity. You know?
Yeah. I feel like the second anyone asked me for any sort of money, I just think it's a scam. That's my red alert for any sort of scam. Unless they're giving me something. Like if they have the thing I'm giving them the money for in their one hand and they're holding the thing I want in their other hand and they're going to give it to me upon receiving the money, I don't trust it. I think it's a scam.
Send me a picture of your tits next to today's paper. Otherwise, not a chance. The reason we bring it up is something that Doug brought to my attention. Don't nod at me. That does nothing.
I'm sorry. It's a fucking audio medium. I'm sorry. I saw a article, and by that I mean an Instagram post on 6buzz TV about a woman in France who sent $800,000, at least. You think it might be more, but at least $800,000 to who she thought was a hospitalized Brad Pitt.
That's
because someone like generated AI photos.
They're not good AI photos.
They're terrible.
They're bad
One of them's like
photos.
Mid-surgery, where he's like being operated on. You could see Brad Pitt's head in the back. Like, who's taking that photo? Like before surgery, he's like, I need the love of my life to see.
She won't believe I was really in surgery.
And then it's just like the part that's the craziest to me. Like, okay, maybe this happened over an extended period of time, but there's so many different facial hairs going on and like age ranges. I'm like, were they in love while he was filming Benjamin Button? Like that's the only explanation for how fucking all over the place all of these photos are.
Look at his fingers. I want to see some fingers in some of these photos, Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, that's the shit that AI just can't handle. Like it likes putting mouths in mouths and just giving us extra fingers. Probably because it's like, they'll be dead soon. Doesn't matter what they look like. They'll all be gone soon.
It's so funny that hands are hard for everyone. That's like the test. That's why in old paintings everybody's just holding a book because they can't draw hands. They're like, just put a fucking book in there. I'm not spending all day on these hands.
I don't think I ever drew a cartoon character who had good hands and wasn't like standing exactly duck-footed. Like 1 foot out to the left, 1 foot out to the right, and that's how I draw. Like I never understood like depth perception when drawing.
I realized that was stupid, so I tried to draw the feet like coming straight out towards you, and it just looked like they had really long legs.
Yeah.
Or
it just like a weird bump. And it looks like for me, they would just look like they have hooves. And I'm like, I don't know how to put the dimension necessary for this. Yeah.
But literally, I was trying to, first of all, she spent like $800,000, which I guess proves money doesn't buy happiness. Because how can you be sad with $800,000? Like sad to the point where you're like, I need Brad Pitt to love me.
You know what? Maybe money does buy happiness. Because you think about it, she's like, I just bought myself Brad Pitt. Sure, I'm buying when the stock is low. He has cancer. He's in the hospital. Who knows if he's going to make it?
Going
but if
through
he does,
a divorce.
Look who he's going to come to. Fucking Genevieve in France or whatever the fuck her name is. I don't know.
You're going to look stupid when you're here getting dicked down by no one, and she's over in France getting dicked down by Brad Pitt. You're going to look like a real dickhead.
Yeah. You're going to have egg on your face while she has
There must
Brad
have been
Pitt's
more
sperm.
people that they sent that to, right?
It has to be a thing like when you're cold calling. Like if you ever worked a call center job where you're just dialing out.
You're just cold pitting everyone in France. Just hoping someone responds to your frantic AI photography.
Do you think there's anything deeper to what they do in terms of like looking at someone's like public profile on Facebook and seeing their interests and being like, oh, she always likes all these photos on the Brad Pitt Facebook page. I'll hit up every person who's a member of the Brad Pitt Facebook page or so. I don't know how it actually started. I should have done legitimately even a millisecond of research.
It probably
into this.
went through like everyone who follows him on Instagram and just actually no, because then you think more people would have talked about it. But people get those all the time. Like, hey, this is Kanye West.
I love when they have those like
I need
messages where it's like,
$150.
hey, it's Michael Jackson. I'm the real one. Hee hee. I need $10,000. Like they just put a sound they make in there. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah,
but
just
that's
like,
just an example
hey, me,
of like
it's Brad
scammers. Scammers have to start everywhere, right?
Eating
Like
M&Ms from
they're
a
the
bowl.
great scammers that like all the other people in India look up to. The people who are like scamming people out of $800,000 pretending to be Brad Pitt via AI. But there's bad scammers out there. You got to start somewhere. There's got to be like an open mic level of scammers who don't know what they're doing. They're just saying a catchphrase and they're hoping that, you know, some really stupid old fish with a lot of money bites.
There's people out there with AI photos of Josh Gad trying to work their way up to Brad Pitt. You know?
It's just crazy that, you know, these people that we're told our whole lives, respect your elders, respect your elders, respect your elders, they're just the dumbest fucking people. They're just by far the dumbest fucking people.
Dude,
like they'll have like six-figure incomes and not be able to save something as a fucking PDF. They'll fall for these scams, fucking phishing scams, all this dumb bullshit sent to like emails of corporations. Dude. And like, do you see those videos where it's like AI generated? It'll be like Putin and Greta Thunberg, and they're like nuzzling each other, or like Donald Trump and some lady he doesn't like Rosie O'Donnell. They're like making out, and like old people are gonna see this and be like, "Oh my god, oh my god."
Yeah, you have to think about how early they fell off. Like, there's people out there, especially in fucking France, who were probably like, as soon as digital cameras came around, they're like, "Non, je ne comprends pas." And then they're just stuck with Le Film, and they didn't make it to digital photography. They've never seen a meme before, and now they're just getting, there's like pretty shitty, but kind of not shitty AIs of Brad Pitt coming to your phone, and they're like, "Sacre bleu, Brad Pitt."
Do you know what I think we need for fucking old people? You know how master classes like went to complete shit, and it used to be people who were like a master of their field, and now it's just like whatever. It's like helping you through menopause. Like, why is this a fucking master class? They need a master class for old people where it's just like one old person that all old people trust. Like, it would be great if Betty White was still alive. And she'd be like, "Hey, fuckos, I'm going to teach you how to not get scammed. Do you think someone hot loves you? Nuh-uh. They
no
don't.
One's ever gonna love you.
You know, your phone hasn't rang in 15 years, but yet you still pay the bill. Brad Pitt's not calling."
Yeah. Those masterclass ads, I'm getting a ton of them. It's like, the CIA is all about building relationships. Let me teach you about how to build a relationship using tricks of the CIA. Like, shut up.
I don't want to hear anything about the fucking CIA, the FBI. Like, you're all fucking criminals. You're criminals. The FBI, they just call themselves special agents. It's just a name they invented. It's not a thing. They're just all special. They're all special agents.
Yeah, you tell them, Doug.
And like the fucking CIA, they're involved in every... Yeah, I just get like a poison dart in my neck and pull it out. And another thing. Someone shoots me with an umbrella. Cool. You see, like, as you're saying that, in the background of your video, one of them was like tracing out a circle in the glass because they were going to come like kill you, and then you say a nice thing, so they put the glass back in, seal it back up, just crawl away. Go to an F-45 class.
I'm just picturing you being like, I'm so pissed. I just lost $150. Someone on Instagram was pretending to be local comedian Kate Davis. And she needed $150.
She said she'd give me a spot.
There was an AI photo of her next to Dave Chappelle, and they were touching butts.
They said I was going to open for him.
Yeah.
There's red flags everywhere. Fuck. Yeah, I don't, what do we do about these old people? But I guess it's just one of those things where, like, you don't have any real, like, cool addictions, so you're just addicted to fucking throwing your money away at nothing.
Yeah. I like that the internet's all making fun of her, too.
I love that if you are willing to put yourself out there, the whole internet is willing to tell you how stupid you are for doing that.
Yeah.
The absolute whole internet.
If you lose $800,000 to an AI photo of Julia Roberts, keep that shit to yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. No one's going to help you. You're not getting the money back.
Yeah.
You may as well just keep your pride.
Confession. That's a deathbed confession. You tell with your eyes closed, so you don't have to see the disappointment in theirs.
And then as your eyes are closed and you're saying that, Julia Roberts walks in and then hears all the shit you're talking and is like, "Aw," and then leaves.
Did I get here in time? And you're like, what? And just like that gives you a massive heart attack and you fucking die. Josh Gad comes in.
I know.
I'm too late.
Get the fuck out of here, Josh Gad. Julia Roberts is
over
here.
My corpse.
If Julia Roberts showed up at my house, I'd probably also have a heart attack. But hey,
yeah, I don't want to see any celebrities ever. I would just think something fucking screwy is going on.
Yeah, of course. I'll be like, if you feel insane.
Yeah.
I remember I told you this. I saw John David Washington in New York.
I think you told me this because you had to explain who he was.
Yeah.
And
he's in Tenet. He's the man. And I was just like, it's fucking John David Washington. And then it feels like it's not real life. It feels,
and it's probably like distracting because you're like not even thinking about the play anymore. You're thinking about, gosh, what does Josh David Washington think about the play?
I was crying when I saw him. Immediately stopped crying. I was just weeping, and I saw him, and I was like, "That's fucking John David Washington over there. What the fuck is he doing here?"
Just like it just scrambled your emotions, like happens to a child.
Shouldn't you be behind a velvet rope or like carried on the shoulders of two huge guys or something? What are you doing here?
It's got to be so weird because he's not like a crazy level celebrity, right? Like it's got to be the weird kind of celebrity where you're walking down the street and 9 out of 10 people like just walk by you not caring, and the one person's just like just staring at you like you're a demigod walking the surface of the earth because they've seen
Kenny
you on
Hotz
screen.
lives in my neighborhood now.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's one I've seen him at the grocery store and the coffee place I go to, and every time I see him, like,
so sick.
Fucking Kenny Hotz. And I was like, "Have you said hi?" No. Am I gonna?
It's at least. I think at least he's doing okay. Like, I feel bad for people who are known for something and
he's buying groceries. So
didn't get them enough money. You know
so
what I mean?
Fucking
like,
weird to just watch like someone that I grew up watching on television in high school, just standing in the grocery store contemplating a chocolate bar while they wait for their groceries to be scanned.
It is kind of like disconcerting to see celebrities like that live regular lives. It's also like the same as that book that you lent me, like the 101
Dalmatians.
Writers, what they fucking, I'm trying to work my way through. I'm at like 48. It's really
Dude, there's so many Dalmatians.
There's a lot.
At a certain point, you're like, it's fucking enough.
There's like over 100. But anyways,
how
reading
big
that book
must that
about,
dog have been?
reading about the
fucking Dodge Caravan.
Different writers, like what they did and stuff, and then you realize that George Orwell like rented a small apartment for the majority of his life.
Yeah,
like this, like, you know, famed author that so many people look up to, quote, fucking nonstop because of 1984. You're like, oh, he just lived like a regular kind of poor person's life. Like, he didn't do much. He hung out at his apartment.
Yeah, he didn't really do shit.
even like really rich, successful people. Like I was listening to a podcast with David Kep, the guy who wrote Jurassic Park, the first Mission Impossible and stuff. And even he rents. Now, mind you, it's in New York. And this is cool. This is fucking cool. He rents 2 apartments in the same building because one is his office.
That's cool.
So his commute to work is just walking to a different apartment building.
Well,
which is fucking unreal.
A lot of those people, like Micah told me this about Nora Ephron. She wrote When Harry Met Sally.
Is that Zac Efron's like mom or something?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's spelled PH, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Could be.
She rented a brownstone in New York for like, and she got in the 70s where it was like $2,000 a month and it was rent controlled. So she's like, yeah, I'm never leaving. I'm going to be here forever. Why would I buy anything?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb at that point.
I'm sure George Orwell just saw rent prices going up. He's like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good in the old apartment. I'm going to write about
40s?
Communism.
He's like, no, I'll be paying £6 a week, not 7.
Yes. Rent control. If this thing goes over 10, I'm fucking calling the city. Or whatever. I don't know.
How's it sticking to the sketch you set out for yourself?
It's going okay. You know, good days, bad days.
Nice.
Mostly, gym's been good. The diet's been good. The diet's been so good that I'm pissed off all day. Every day. I'm so fucking angry.
Lack of calories?
Yeah.
Well, it is like, people kind of gloss over the fact that you are just kind of starving yourself to make up for the fact that you gorged yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just suffering because of another, like, suffering you kind of put yourself through.
It's like when
like
you
all
spend
those all
too
those
much.
times where you like, all those times you're like sitting there after you eat too much and you're like, ugh. Think about that the next time you're sitting and your belly's rumbling because it's empty and you're like, oh, this is worse. This is way worse.
It's literally like when you spend too much money and then you look at your bank account and you're like, how about I just sit in bed for the next month and a half in order to try to figure this shit out?
I would love a situation where you could voluntarily put yourself into a coma for a couple weeks just to break all of like whatever the longest thing is to break. Like say you go 30 days without sugar and your body won't crave it anymore.
Yeah.
But slap me in there for 31 days. Let me pop out not really needing weed, caffeine, sugar, fucking any of the things that have like a fucking death grip on my waking moments.
Do you know what's been a real problem for me is Micah got Amazon. I started using Amazon at Christmas time because everybody we got a list, like we get Christmas lists from my family for Christmas, and everyone they just put Amazon links on there, and it's like you can either buy it on Amazon or it doesn't fucking exist. So just buy it on Amazon, and Amazon's a fucking amazing. It's crazy the fact that I can just buy like an entire apartment's worth of furniture and it'll show up in my house the next day is unbelievable.
Yeah, it feels like it's some video game shit. It's like unrealistic that it gets here that fast.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're like, oh, this is it has to be slaves. It's too good.
Remember when you used to buy something and just be like online, be like, man, I hope it shows up.
Yeah.
Like ever. And like maybe like 16 weeks later, like you don't know the journey that this fucking package has had, like this castaway life that this thing is. It survived on an island for 4 of those weeks and then drifted back to like some mail service to get to you. Now it's the next fucking day. It's too fast.
All of a sudden, Tom Hanks is at your door with a package you forgot you even opened or you even ordered. I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, one of those things that Micah got in order to aid me with my like weight loss thing is she got me some protein bars to have as a snack.
Nice. And
then I proceeded to eat about 5 protein bars a day as just a little snack because I'm allowed to have it. It's on the foods I'm allowed to have because they didn't think I would be that much of a fucking animal that I would have fucking 5 protein bars a day. And I was like, why did I put on 7 pounds?
What part of your caloric intake for the day do you think 5 protein bars is? Is it like over half?
Half. Yeah.
Half. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. They're about 250 calories apiece.
Tim, that's 1,250 calories for
Quick
5.
maths from Douglas.
Thank you.
Doug's calorie math.
Pretty easy things to add up. Yeah, maybe calories my brain can just calculate like a savant.
Just right there. Yeah, and so now I have to do like a protein bar detox to get off all these goddamn protein bars I've been having every day.
It's so funny that you like. It's so funny to snack on the most calorically dense thing. Like you're trying to eat healthier, and it would have been better if you had a bowl of chips. And fucking 5 of the densest, like literally it's in a factory and they probably have like a hydraulic press that they press a shit ton of crap into like one protein bar.
They just have a bunch of strong men in a row and they just jam them all together. It's like I got those like meal replacement boost drinks and I was like, I just have a few a day, it's like I drink them like water. Because it's extra health.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You should never, ever really be drinking calories. I think other than if you're having like a protein shake or two. But you also I don't think you should be relying on like synthetic protein sources for most of your protein like that. Now, mind you, this is all coming from a man who's over 300 pounds. So it's
you back up over 3 bills?
Yeah, but I'm not as over it as I thought. So it's gonna be pretty.
Have you watched? Have you heard of the comedian Stavros?
Yeah.
What's his last like?
Halkis?
Greek guy.
Yeah. That guy.
It sounds like a sheep when you do it. I guess I got fed his like latest "I'm gonna lose weight" video.
Yeah.
And all the comments were so mean. They were all like, oh, I'm excited to see you fail this time. Or like, oh yeah, this time's going to work. Just the whole way down. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I guess he'd done another series, like I'm going to lose weight last year.
Yeah.
He did like 9 or 10 episodes. Didn't lose any weight. Just got fatter. And then just cut off the series.
Nice.
And so this time he's starting up again. Everyone's like, this is the time for sure, man. Just so fucking fake supportive.
It's gotta be, man, I imagine it would be harder. Well, not really, because you could like afford like a dietitian or something. But at the same time, I would be thinking, yeah, but you can finally afford to have all the things you enjoy eating, but like the best of it all the fucking time. Like I would love to like lose this weight and then at one point have enough money that I can get like nice fat. Like I'm eating quality meats fat. I can afford cold cuts all the time. Like just murdering my heart, but like getting layers of fat on that like a king has. Not these like quick added pockets of fat that come with like chips and candy. Like I want like a lifetime of I've had just the best quality stuff.
A regal fat.
Yeah. I want to look like Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you want the kind of fat you get from having too much rather than having too little.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I support you, man. I hope. But you have to lose the weight first.
That's true. And who knows if we even have time left on this earth before it all just boils to shit. Have you seen the fucking fires that have been going on in California?
I'm aware.
Like in LA. Dude, I saw one thing that was like the most hellscape fucking headline I've ever seen. It was like Fallout 2 halts production because of ongoing fires in LA. And it's like, so a literal show about an apocalypse is like, nah, this is way too fucking much, dude. We gotta wait till this blows over.
You know, there was someone out there, like on the set or some producer who was like, no, let's just get out there now. We'll save so much money on sets.
And like, we're not going to have to pay the staff because they're going to be constantly dying because of smoke inhalation and or burns.
Yeah. We're out there like fucking William Friedkin on the front of a car, just getting after it. And the shits.
It's so weird listening to I listen to a bunch of shit with writers and directors and all that stuff. Listening to them complain about the price of making something in America and all this stuff and like why they film abroad. And it's like, yeah, you film abroad so you don't have to pay people living wages.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you film in fucking Nicaragua. So you can like make a movie for pennies on the dollar of what you would here.
Yeah. All these people want like
while you're there.
Insurance and to see their families. How am I supposed to make a movie about a fucking man from space who comes down and learns about love?
Like no offense to The Brutalist, and I haven't seen it yet. And obviously, make a movie however you can. And the guy did it fucking himself. But isn't it set in Philadelphia? They filmed in like Poland or something. Like it's mostly filmed. They did some principal photography to get like shots of the sky. Maybe it's New York it's set in. I don't fucking know. But like shots of the skyline and certain buildings that they need in the background.
Well, here's the thing. It's set in Philadelphia in the 50s.
Which I guess Philadelphia
which is Poland now.
Yeah.
Historically, that lines up.
It's a great point.
It's like how Australia is exactly 1 year behind. Poland is exactly 75 years now behind Philadelphia.
That's a great
That movie's fucking fine. Definitely didn't need to be. The 7 p.m. movie didn't need to end at 10:45. Tell you that right now.
Isn't it weird how like I was talking about this with Serena yesterday because we saw Nosferatu and we saw like Oppenheimer when it was in theaters.
Yeah,
we saw both around the same time, and we were both like complaining about the length of Nosferatu nonstop after the movie. Neither of us said a fucking word about Oppenheimer, but it was an hour longer, and we got out like an hour-ish after we got out of the other one, but it was like it like kept you there the whole time, which I get. Like these, like Nosferatu has to build suspense, and for suspense to be properly built, you have to kind of sit in the scene and feel like how scared the character is. But
it's like it's long. You probably shouldn't. I haven't seen it, but you probably shouldn't be that faithful to a movie from 1935 or whenever, when people were like, oh my God, it's a real vampire. And then they would go kill like 40 women after they saw it.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting, it's not exactly about that, but it's with Robert Eggers. I was listening to a podcast with him talk about The Northman, which I haven't seen, but I want to see.
Love The Northman.
Yeah? It's good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. But it's okay.
He talked about never wanting to really do a Viking thing.
Too strong.
And then Vikings, they kind of got adopted by like the right wing fucking weird Nazis or like into Vikings, but I guess he went and learned the actual lore of stuff, and it was interesting listening to him talk about how he crafts that story. Like the guy interviewing him was like, well, how do you make a story out of that? Like where do you find the story? And he says like, well, you look into the lore enough and all of their stories are revenge plots. Like I guess Hamlet's actually based off of a Norse character named Hamlet. They fucking literally just put an H at the front of it. So it's like this well-known story of revenge already. So then that's why The Northman is like, I haven't seen it, but it's like a revenge story, I guess.
Yeah.
Is like the pivotal part of it.
It is. But it's these people who are very faithful to olden lore. Like The Green Knight was like this. I haven't seen that either. I really want very faithful to like an old English poem. And you're like, there's a reason some of this stuff fell off.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm just too stupid to sit there and appreciate the pace of the 1800s. But
there is something aggravating about the way they spoke. And honestly, like I always hated reading Old English when I was in school, and looking back on it now with like the hindsight of, where I am now, it kind of feels like the way Old English existed was to gatekeep it from poor people. And people who couldn't get fucking years of academic training to know thou art thine, like all the fucking bullshit.
England
just say
still
the
like
thing
that.
you were gonna fucking say.
Like England just has like the sort of oh hello yes. That's just a rich accent. That's not like from a specific area of England. Yeah. That's just when you have enough money, you get that accent. Like from the government. They just give it to you. Yeah, because if you have enough money, you get to go to the school where they talk like that and surrounded by other dickheads who talk like that. And they talk like that. So you see these people who like their parents made all this money but their parents actually came from nothing. So their parents have a different accent than their kids because their kids have the rich kid accent and the parents have like an old-timey accent.
I wonder if it's something that rich people are sussing out each other all the time. Like, you know that one shot in Inglourious Bastards where Michael Fassbender is pretending to be a German soldier, but he orders, what does he order? 3 or 4 drinks, but like this instead of this?
3 drinks instead of like this? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how they know, like shit like that. I wonder if these posh motherfuckers are like constantly just like waiting for like one sign of weakness or using the wrong, calling it a loo instead of a lav or something.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's just that way of speaking to just alienate people and let them know, hey, just so you know, you're not part of us.
And we're better than you.
Yeah,
we
we're
sound
better
because we're better.
Yeah.
Be great if it was exactly tied to your net worth. So, like, people who work the stock market or one day sound posh and then wake up the next day like, what's all this then? Hello. It's not doing well right now. Don't invest with that guy.
They lost a lot of accents in 2008 during the financial crisis. Fluffer.
Is that a word they say to be angry?
I don't know.
What was England like when you were there? Did you like it?
Flibbly bib. I don't know. I mostly just talked to Micah, so it really I didn't see, talk to the one who brung you.
What was the most British thing you guys did while did you hit like a good fish and chips place?
Yeah, we got some fish and chips. We did a Sunday roast, which was nice.
Isn't Indian food really big there? Like I heard someone say like chicken masala or tiki masala is like their national dish now.
Yeah, butter chicken's the most popular food in England.
Wild.
Which is so funny, but also makes sense. Like English food does suck.
Yeah. They needed some spice.
Again,
real bad.
Fish and chips were nice. The Sunday roast was delicious. I love a Sunday roast. But outside of that, you're like, why don't I just eating sausage rolls all day? Like I told you we went to a couple different of Micah's friends. Sort of, we went to some, it was interesting. We actually went to some that were like dirt poor, some that were sort of middle-ish.
In England, or do you mean like everywhere you guys have been?
In England.
Okay.
We stayed with we had dinner with 3 groups of her friends. One was dirt poor and lived on,
damn, dude, I don't even have 3 groups of friends in the country I currently reside in.
Yeah, me neither.
Let alone abroad. Holy shit.
It's amazing. But, so we met their friends that lived on a currently under construction houseboat. Their friends
like a fucking dinghy?
Yeah.
You guys can sleep here too?
Massive boat.
Wow.
Very impressive. They had a like rental houseboat that was next to the boat that was under construction that they owned. Apparently they live in an apartment now. They sold the boat, whatever. I don't know. And it was great. Well, sorry, this is an aside. While we were there, I probably talked about this on the pod, but the lady got an email. The wife got an email that I guess she'd signed up when teacup pigs were popular. She'd signed up with the farm saying she wanted a teacup pig. And then 6 years later, she got an email from them that said, hey, your pig's ready. And she's just got a whole other life that's not really teacup pig compatible. She lives on a boat.
Yeah.
And so we got to witness her being like, so we're considering it. And then the husband being like, no, we are not. We are not getting a pig-size life jacket for this fucking
how
boat.
How fucking weird do you have to... You would look so odd. You walk out of your houseboat and you're walking your pig. You're like, that's a wizard. There's no other explanation for what's going on.
Yeah. Especially you're British. And then there were the middle class people, good job. Rent an apartment on the outskirts of London.
Because it's insanely priced there.
You can't get a place in London. It's insane.
I knew a girl who had 4 roommates and they each paid $1,800 or something fucking nuts to live downtown London.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And it's all foreign investment. It's all a nightmare, same as everywhere else.
It's like Toronto.
Yeah. And then we stayed with incredibly wealthy people. That
the castle, the fucking the Windsor family.
Yeah.
Staying with the king.
Yeah, we're with Kate Middleton and her husband Bill. We and they're all very nice people, but the ones who were the richest were the most British, and they had the worst food.
Really?
Yeah, they just didn't give a shit. 'Cause they don't know how to cook, but they want to for people. So it was just like previously boiled broccoli that was now cold, and like previously hot French fries that were now cold. Whereas like the other ones made us like a really nice stew. Like they were, the middle class people were she was from Transylvania, which I always forget's a real place.
Yeah.
I'd make it up place full of vampires. And it made us a beautiful stew, and we got some bread from like a market. It was delicious. And then you go to the British people's house, and they're like, "Do you just still, is like an orange still a treat for you? How do you live this way? This food stinks."
Yeah, it's like I'm getting scurvy.
Yeah.
I'm getting scurvy in the nicest house I've ever been inside.
That is crazy. You could pay to have me killed.
It's like I had fucking less scurvy when I was on the fucking houseboat, where I should have had the scurvy.
I was growing a peg leg while I was there, and I have more scurvy now. Speaking of, we talked the whole time I've known you. You've wanted to move to America. That's been your big goal.
I'm not working on it all, but
yeah. Well,
just hoping someone just is like, want to come?
Tangentially, you're sending AI photos of yourself to women in America. 90-day fiance from Canada do you still want to go?
Yeah, of course.
Given what a fucking disaster it is.
Yeah, but I think this country is also a fucking dumpster. You know, so
yeah, but there's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but it's like all we need is a match, and then we're also a dumpster fire. So I'd rather go to a dumpster fire that had more stuff that I like. Honestly, and it's not the place that I'm currently in and mad at.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
that would be great. And also something I've always liked about the States is that they're pretty open about the fact that they don't care about you, and like you're on your own a lot of the time. And that's kind of how I like to operate. Like, just tell me that you don't fucking care about me. I'll look after me. You guys leave me alone.
But you don't look after you.
I try. It's hard. I'm a lot of person to look after.
You know, this is what... Did you also not think that Wayne Gretzky was alive? I just learned Wayne Gretzky was alive now that he's like getting in trouble.
What's he getting in trouble for?
He just loves Trump.
Here's the thing. Like, don't even get mad at a guy whose whole life has just been like getting CTE nonstop. He's the great one. You got to think enforcers were going after that dude for like fucking over a decade, just trying to fucking give him brain soup. And these people have like bad ideas in their old age. It's like, yeah, because he's a tall, grown child who just his whole life has been hockey. That's all he's ever known. CTE.
I really don't, because like he had way more enforcers on his team than the other team had trying to get him, and he was all nimble and shit.
I feel like he still gets some pretty good dings.
I was talking to Kev because it blew my mind when I found out he was alive. I was shocked because I think it's because I've seen so much stuff named after him that eventually you just start assuming he's dead.
Yeah.
He's got like parkways and like streets named after him. I'm like, that's dead guy stuff. I don't. And then
I wish you discovered this on stage. Like, I wish you would have been doing a show in Brantford and like just mention how Wayne Gretzky was dead and just see them just revolt or something.
Boo! He's the great one. He was voted the 10th greatest Canadian who ever lived.
He's the great one, and you're about to be the late one. And they just fucking kill you.
They lost slogans before they lynched people in Brantford.
Nah, I don't know.
But I don't know. Apparently, he's been making the rounds. I guess he was on. Kev sent me a clip of him on Theo Vaughn's podcast from last year,
That actually sounds like something I would listen to, just because it's like, it's almost like two people who are united through like Theo's dating Wayne's sister, but Wayne's sister leaves the room, so it's just these two people have nothing else in common, left alone while she's gone for an hour and a half.
So what do you do?
I used to play a little hockey.
Yeah, I guess Wayne Gretzky said that racism doesn't exist in Canada. And Theo was like, really?
Just takes his word for it. Wow, dude. That's
Which,
crazy.
like, I guess just means that Wayne Gretzky's not actively doing racism, because I don't think he has a lot of interaction with the outside world at this point.
That's the thing. He lives some insular life where he's in like some great neighborhood where only great things happen. Probably like Oakville or some shit, or like some small rich ass community somewhere. Does he even live in Canada?
I doubt it.
Wayne, if you want to come on the pod, we would love to talk.
He lives in Palm Beach, Florida.
Florida's nice.
You can't get further.
See, that's another thing I like about the States is I would love to live somewhere. Now, fires set aside, I would love to live somewhere warmer. Not that warm. Not Inferno.
It's too hot.
But like, I don't know, somewhere half in between, so I could just like warm myself from a distance, you know?
There's a comedian has that
not
bit.
Snow.
If I was ever drowning, I would eat a bag of pretzels first, so then at least I'd be thirsty. And he'd be like, that's great, that's great. That's too much.
That's great.
I forget who that is.
That's a good bit.
Yeah, warmth would be nice. It's too goddamn cold.
Well, like, I'm trying to write this fucking movie I've been telling you about, but like the way I enjoyed writing before when I was doing that pilot was like sitting outside in nature, and you can like feel the fucking breeze because it was the summer and it's night. The sun's out. There's just something I feel like I'm just charging when I'm in the sun. Maybe I spent so long inside that have rays of sunshine hit my skin is like some novel thing.
No, it's good for you, man.
It's great for you. I've been trying to like stay on my vitamin D game so I don't get too sad in the winter. That's a struggle.
Yeah, of course it is.
You still taking that St. John's wort thing? You see any difference?
I do it too inconsistently to really tell.
Yeah.
I'll take one every once in a while when I remember, and then go like a week and a half without touching it. But I don't know. I feel like I should just, instead of St. John's wort, I should just be doing like Ozempic or something.
The weight loss thing? You think that's gonna?
Yeah, I think that would really turn this whole ship around.
I don't want to do that, but I do like the idea of natural depression cures in terms of making your life less shit. You know? There's
nothing that pisses me off more than someone giving me a natural depression cure when I'm depressed. I remember Robbie lived with a roommate, and she found out that, like, he told her that he had depression and he was sort of struggling with it, and she told him to eat more bananas. And it's like, I would have thrown her through a goddamn window.
Eat more bananas. You ever seen a monkey cry? You ever seen a monkey cry, Robert? Eat some bananas.
Eat some bananas. They're so happy. Also, maybe throw your shit at a wall. Maybe that
starts
help.
Eating bananas and then it's like picking bugs out of her hair all the time. It's what makes him happy.
It's for my depression. Let me do it. Whatever. She's married to a chiropractor, and they're fucking lunatics.
Chiropractors are lunatics, but I do appreciate that they're kind of like the bad boy of the physical therapy world.
In the sense that they do only harm?
Well, in the sense that, physiotherapists give you exercises to work on you, and then fucking chiropractors treat you like they're the Fonz, and you're a fucking, what do you call it, jukebox that's not working well, and they're just like, boom, like they give you an elbow, and then like, your back's fixed, and you're like, yeah, I guess this other part of my back hurts more right now. Yeah, you're right.
Something like, I think Elon Musk's great-grandfather was Canada's first chiropractor.
And they were like fucking nuts back in the day. They used to think they could like snap your neck and make you not blind anymore.
Yeah, now
like,
they just
not
think
deaf.
they can snap your neck and cure your back. Like they're still out of their goddamn minds.
That being said, all of this being said, I'll watch chiropractic videos like that. We've talked about this, but that ring dinger, and I want it, dude. I want to see what it's all about. Like the thing that basically simulates the nice part about being hung, like the spinal decompression. that second of relief if you've lived a life of back pain where you're like, like everything cracks, right? And then you start like, you know?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Oh, that's great. Not too much.
I just love when they do the ring dinger and then just like the look in people's eyes. That's why I want to do it, because they all look different. Regardless of what they look like before, they all look like they saw God for like a millisecond that to them felt like 100 years.
Well, I think it's probably... I have no idea what you're talking about with the ring dinger. But they probably, for a second, you think you're going to die.
Okay, I'll explain what the ring dinger is, okay? So you're laying on a table, and then this thing raises below your knees. So you're almost like this position you'd be in a chair.
And then someone sucks your dick through the table? I've seen that online.
No. So you're laying on your back, essentially like in the position you'd be in a chair, but on your back. And then they lock your hips into place with these two rods that lock into place. They wrap a towel under like around your neck, and they grab it, and they're like, okay, let out all your air. And then they fucking yank on your head as hard as they can.
Oh, my God.
And it decompresses your spine from like the top of your neck all the way down to your tailbone.
Here's the thing. If it wasn't bullshit, they wouldn't use a towel. Okay? They've got a special chair and special rods. And then the part that yanks your head is a fucking towel.
Yeah, at least slap a name on there.
Yeah, shouldn't there be like a
to put a name
thing
on
with a cushion that like fits?
Yeah.
No, we
With,
got
like,
the special
grips on
chair
the side.
and the rods. I was going to grab this fucking towel. Just
It's like a towel they've been like dabbing their sweat off since they've just been elbowing you for 45 minutes first.
Yeah, this towel's for me. I get sweaty.
You got to think like workout wise in terms of what your job is. Like being a chiropractor would be a great workout. Like, have you ever been to a chiropractor?
No, literally never go to a chiropractor, Doug.
I went to one who was like a little guy, so he wasn't able to do much for me, but this guy's on top of me. Like I'm laying face down. He's like on my back. I could feel him like putting all of his weight into like different parts, and it's barely doing anything. So he's like 110 pounds trying to put all of his weight onto not that.
That's tough break.
Yeah.
But don't go to a chiropractor. They do more harm than good by a massive margin.
You does a lot more harm than good, it feels like, lately. Fucking doctors. Not going to those pussies either.
When's the last
They're
time
all
you went to a
stupid.
doctor?
When I was in the ER. Trying to get fucking pain meds. And they're making me shake their hand saying I'm not trying to kill myself. And I'm like, I'm fucking in pain, stupid.
I think that's very, very dumb. But
Yeah.
chiropractors are so much worse than doctors. Because doctors, like, it sucks. Our system definitely needs work. But they're not actively inflicting harm so that the only way, like, you'll feel relief is by going back to a chiropractor.
Did you hear about that doctor in the States? It was like this Indian guy who for like 20 or 30 years has been doing surgeries people didn't need just because he wanted to bill it to like their insurance so he could get money. He would buy something and say it was like some radiology machine, but it was actually a Ferrari that he wrote off as a fucking business expense.
It's dark
and shit like that. Just horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous. And
there's
these are
evil
the people
people
we're
out
supposed
there,
to
man.
fucking trust over all others. No thanks.
I know.
I'll just eat fucking bananas, and I'll stick to not needing doctors.
Plus, I heard he scammed this lady out of like $800,000 with AI pictures of Brad Pitt. There's no end to what this guy won't do.
He's a busy boy.
The madness. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about? I think that was my whole list.
Yeah, no, that was my whole list too. I don't know if been doing much of anything else. Played God of War. Thanks, Tim. Fucking
All right,
we could talk about this and then leave. The fact that setting up a second TV is gonna hands down save my relationship from those frustrating moments of being forced to watch something I don't want to watch. I'm like, well, now I have a separate TV where I can do the thing I'm doing on a very low volume and still partake in this.
It's important.
Thing.
Genuinely,
it's so important.
Genuinely important.
Yeah.
It's like if just having somewhere else you can go to do the thing you like.
There's nothing I want more right now than an office or some sort of like office space. I'm going to do that thing you suggested, going to the library and just renting out that space.
Yeah.
Also,
rent
just the library
space
in
for
general
free.
is pretty tight if you can find a good spot. But the
Hamilton has a couple
fills up.
beautiful libraries.
Yeah, it's just like it's always packed. It's always very like the tables are always packed, which makes sense. And at that point, I'm like, am I taking a table from someone who this is their only time in a warm place today, or?
Well, if that's the case, they probably don't need a table.
Yeah, they can just wander.
You know,
keep you warmer.
Yeah, you can sit next to some books. Just put a stack of books next to you and put one in your lap and just hang out.
They just have like a garbage fire with like books.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're just using the history section. No one needs to read this.
I need to read more history. I feel like every time I hear some writer or comedian talk about the stuff that they care about, they're always reading history books.
Yeah, but you just got to find like the cool ones. Become like a World War II guy.
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because being a World War II guy is fine when you're in your 30s, kind of. But eventually I'm a 50-year-old guy who's super into World War II. I don't want to be that. That's such a tough guy to be.
Yeah, my like Serena's dad is really into World War II, and it's funny to see like his bookshelf where it's just like 6 books in a row that are like Hitler. How much information could there possibly be about this guy?
Hitler was wrong. Hitler was wrong. Hitler was wrong. ? Like, hey, what was that one?
It's like, oh, I actually wrote that on there. Okay,
yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it's just you become a middle-aged guy. You start fucking loving World War II. I don't want to go down that path. But I don't even know what the other history is. You know, I'm just gonna get deep into like the history of Saskatchewan in the '60s. What are those guys doing? You should.
You're gonna mock this, but some of those like blank history for dummies books are awesome. Like Canadian history for dummies is great. I remember there being a story in there about when settlers first came to Canada, and like most of them are Catholic. Yeah. Catholics can't have meat on Fridays, right? They can only have fish. So there were some Catholics that were like fighting in court for them to be able to eat beaver on Fridays because there were so many of them here, and they're like, it's in the fucking water. Can we eat beaver? And the courts are like, no, look at it.
And thanks to them, I eat beaver every day. High five.
Nice, dude. Fucking hell yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Woo.
What an end. What a landing. Tim Nicholson. Guys, if you want to see it, I think we talked shit about Brantford a little bit, or Tim did about Wayne Gretzky. If you want to see him do it IRL.
He's from Sault Ste. Marie, I think.
What?
Oh, no, he played hockey in the Sioux, I think.
Yeah. He's from Brantford, dude. That's why they have that parkway you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, true.
Brantford has 2 things. Don't take them from them, okay? They have Alexander Graham Bell, and they have Wayne Gretzky.
9th and 10th greatest Canadians, even though Alexander Graham Bell is American.
That's how few good Canadians there have been, is that there's an American in the top 10. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, we got a show somewhere. I'm not going to promote it because I don't know where it is. Look it up. I don't even know what to look up.
What do you want us to do all the work for you? Fucking look it up.
Yeah,
you lazy
grow up.
Bums. Grow up.
All right, guys, that's the episode this week. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.